Happy last day of review week, everybody.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Happy final day of review week. We've already done 4 reviews full of entertainment, information, a fucking ton of F-bombs, and today marks the final day of review week, our 5th review, and I thought I'd review a shoe that is most likely not on anyone's radar right now, but it should be. A bit of a wild card, if you will. Kind of the Steve Buscemi of shoes. It snuck into my rotation, and after a few rough initial runs, my experience with the shoe has actually grown into something more of a love. It's become a lot more appealing, so I think it's worth a glance, and therefore makes the cut for this week's 5 reviews. From Skechers Performance, the GoRun MaxTrail 5 Ultra. I didn't promise the name was great. This thing has turned into quite the trail beast and has surprised me. With its max responsive yet soft cushioned midsole, flexible and comfortable knit upper, ridiculous 6mm outsole lugs, and plenty of durability. From the Skechers Go Trail Ultra model lineup, this new direction for the line is flashy, surprising, and just weird and fun enough to make this week's list of reviews. It's tickled my fancy. I hope it tickles yours. Gross. Let's do this. As with all of my reviews, I like to talk about the things I like and dislike, starting as always with things that I like. That midsole. It's soft yet responsive, that fine balance, plenty of stack with the 4mm drop at 28 and 24mm respectively. You get lots of protection from below, and I don't find myself sinking into it too much, which is something that happens with a lot of the MaxTrail shoes. Also, something cool about this midsole, it has actual drain holes built into the midsole material that act like rain gutters, funneling all of the water down through the sock liner into these little tubes and right out into earth. Any creek or river crossings or really wet days out there have a better chance of this shoe draining than a lot that I've run in. Pretty cool little engineering and design feat, and a really great midsole. The outsole. Obviously, I was surprised when I pulled these out of the box and saw the 6mm lugs on the outsole. The rubber's actually holding up a lot better than I anticipated. It's not super hard, so you're not going to feel like you're running on little pebbles, but the multi-directional lugs grip really well on both climbs and descents, as well as that added protection. It's effective. I like the outsole. And finally, the upper. A knit mesh upper surprised me as well. I thought the material choice was interesting, if not a bit flawed, but it is super comfortable. I've loved knit uppers in the past, some more than others. The Skechers Performance knit upper on this shoe is better than I expected. It breathes well, it performs well, it's durable. The semi-transparent welded overlays give it a bit of structure and durability where it needs it the most. It's lasted quite well, so I gotta give it a thumbs up. But just because this shoe weaseled its way into review week doesn't necessarily mean it's all flapjacks and applesauce. There are some things I dislike that I will let you know about. Here we go. The fit. Yes, I said I liked the upper. I think this knit is fantastic, but it is a bit of a detriment to the overall fit of the shoe, and actually took me quite some time, multiple runs, to figure out how to dial it in. I think I've got it. It is not perfect because the shoe needs more rigidity. Through the toe box, you find your foot sliding around a little bit just because there isn't a lot of structure. Through the midfoot, there aren't any pieces of material allowing you to tighten down that upper, attaching your foot to the midsole and outsole. And around the ankle, you're really gonna lose a lot of that structure and stability by not being able to tighten that down perfectly. It needs refinement. It feels downright sloppy the first few runs. I'm warning you now. As you dial it in and figure things out, it improves. I would recommend possibly going down a half size just to give yourself an initial sock-like fit in the shoe. Just make sure that the length works for you and you're not going to butt your toes up against the toe box. I honestly hope in the next version they keep some of the things that this shoe has going on, but really fix that overall fit. That's my biggest gripe. And weight, about 11.5 ounces, which isn't terrible in a trail shoe. You do expect a bit more weight because of the outsole and all that good stuff. Wish it was a little bit lighter. I'm okay with an 11.5 ounce shoe, but I gotta call it out on its pudginess. From one pudgy to another pudgy, we can work together on this and shave it a little bit off. But that's it. That is what I find fascinating about this shoe. Yes, the fit is a very important part of the shoe, if not one of the most important parts of it. That is why I wouldn't necessarily have considered this shoe a wild card by any means, but I started to get it to work and I see where it's coming from and I like it and I have to let you guys know about it. So in conclusion, let's get a little bit more specific. The build quality is better than I expected. Skechers Performance continues to deliver shoes that give you a great bang for your buck. It's something I've actually talked about in a lot of the reviews of the shoes. I'm always surprised by that. I think I need to not be so surprised. The shoes hold up really well and don't break the bank. This shoe pushes that a little bit, but I do do think you're getting a good build quality and overall durability. It's going to last you a while. Comfort, super plush midsole that gives you some of that responsiveness a lot of people love on the trail running shoes. I think the upper is super comfortable. I wish it was a little bit more dialed. A soft, responsive midsole and a nice, soft, comfortable upper all make for a comfortable shoe, so it's a thumbs up. Fit, obviously my biggest gripe with the shoe. I think we can use a lot more rigidity and structure throughout the upper, really help get that lockdown good. When you're running on super techie trails, jumping from roots to rocks and all that stuff, you don't want your foot sliding around in there. If anything, that's a little bit dangerous. So if you're gonna try this shoe out, try it on, make sure that it fits your foot perfectly. Get those laces, get this ankle fabric tied down correctly. You should be good. Price, $124. So what I was talking about earlier with quality versus dollar and all that stuff, that's actually the higher end of a Skechers Performance shoe for me. I think you do get a good quality shoe out of it. I also think you get a fun, entertaining shoe out of it. You're gonna be out there just wanting to rip up trails with this thing. So smiles per mile is definitely a thumbs up, but that price is a little bit higher. So it's another reason why I definitely consider this a wild card to keep in your hand. And finally, looks. I like flash, and I think this pink to gray fade is actually pretty flashy. I'm a fan of it. I think the other color version is not great, but I'm into you. Bringing us to our final criteria is the Skechers Performance GoRun MaxTrail 5 Ultra, a buy, try, or a why. In this case, I'm gonna say buy, but as a backup or as a shoe that you rotate in for those long slogs on trails that aren't particularly techie or super rocky, only because of the fit. If you're going long, you just need to get a long run in, 20, 30 miles for training, I think you'll really like adding the miles in this shoe. So consider it. I'm glad I did. And that, my friends, is it for my review of the Skechers Performance GoRun MaxTrail 5 Ultra. I'm curious, have you run in this shoe? If you have, in the comments below, what are your thoughts on it? What are your initial thoughts? Maybe if you haven't purchased it yet, is it something you would even consider? Get that dialogue in the comments going. If you want more information or you want to get a pair for yourself, I have a link for Running Warehouse in the description of this video. Check it out. It helps the channel. It helps you. It's great. Click it and enjoy it. If you like this review, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. I hope you enjoyed review week. We got lots more videos, films, training, live, all that stuff is coming up. So consider subscribing and clicking that little bell notification so you know anytime a new video or we go live is posted to the channel. Social media links, plus at the very bottom there, if you would like to support this channel, help keep us doing what we're doing on a full-time basis, consider patreon.com/thegingerrunner for as little as $1 a month. That's my full plug. This weekend is Cascade Crest 100, my first and only 100-miler that I ran in 2015. We are going to be crewing, a good friend of ours that's running it. It is gonna be so much fun. If some of you are out there running, we hope to see you. High five, all that good stuff. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week for some more fun. Okay, bye-bye.